Alright, so before I start my vegan arm day, I'm gonna have a vegan breakfast here. It's barley that I'm boiling with soy milk, and I'm gonna have like some berries in it, fruit, some berries, flax seeds, peanut butter. I made a smoothie here with green apple, beetroot, agave syrup, whatever. I have a banana as well. All right, again, here's my breakfast. Barley, it looks like oats, but it's a different type of grain that's kind of similar to oats. So starting off with the arm day, I have vegan barbell curls, and it's a vegan arm day. So what makes it vegan is that every single movement is vegan. All the barbell and all the calisthenic movements I do this workout is vegan. Yesterday's workout is also a vegan workout. And tomorrow's workout will also be a vegan workout. Now, what makes it vegan specifically? It's not the fact that I am a vegan. You can be someone who eats an omnivorous diet and still do a vegan workout. But I guess because it's vegan, because no animals were harmed whilst doing this, this type of exercise. So I guess any workout is vegan unless you're harming animals to do your workout. But that's besides the case here. So I'm doing these barbell curls. I did 3 sets of each movement. I'm only doing 4 exercises here. And I follow this up supersetted with tricep push downs. I'm using my cable pulley system here. So to kind of explain like why I'm doing barbell curls, I feel like barbell curls are kind of like that compound movement of the biceps. So, instead of me doing like 3 different bicep movements, I can just do bicep curls, which hits like all parts of the bicep. It's a movement that you can get strong in, and you can try and reinforce technique to make sure, you're not cheating, or, you're not throwing your hips forward to cheat the movement. And then here I'm doing tricep push downs with the cable attachment. I just really like the movement. It feels really nice and smooth, especially on my elbows. And it kind of helps prime my elbows up for other tricep movements, like a tricep extension, like how I usually do ring tricep extensions, which can be tougher on the elbows. So this definitely does help, and I keep it within the higher range of reps. And then when I do bicep curls with the barbell, I try and go a bit heavier, falling within like a 7 to 10 rep range. I believe my first set I did about 10 reps, so I can probably start increasing the weight my next session. And I am changing up my training regimen to kind of have 2 arm days within it. So at first, for the past 10 weeks, I was doing push, pull, legs, and then followed by upper body, arms, legs, then rest, right? But now it's going to be like upper body, arms, legs, upper body, arms, legs, rest, so on and so forth. Just so I can kind of like get more emphasis on my arms and train them and isolate them and give them a separate day. And I do think that having big arms is cool, and I feel like that can help a lot with the physique as well. And speaking of the physique, I am, a bit bigger now. I'm not sure how much I weigh. We currently don't have a scale in the house, but I'm not shredded, I'm not lean or whatever. But I'm kind of like in this interesting phase where it's like I'm big, but it's like I'm a bit like, I just have like a bit more body fat on me, right? I'm not like chiseled or anything like that, but you kind of have to get in those types of phases at some point if you want to make sure you are like, you're bulking properly, so that way you can get muscle a lot more efficiently. Because if you're in a deficit and you're losing weight whilst you're eating, because, you're not eating enough, right? You're not going to be able to gain muscle mass, right? So yeah, but it's not like I'm fat or overweight. I still have some like visible like definition, and I still have visible abs. So I'm definitely not like super, beefy or rotund or, just like bear mode, what somebody might call it. But I'm definitely looking towards, trying to bulk up, of course, and put on some more mass by training as hard as I can and as frequently as I can. But yeah, I guess in regards to like maybe my breakfast, I feel like the food that I eat, I'm eating more whole foods. That's like the whole thing when it comes to me being a vegan. It's more towards specifically like what someone might call like a whole food plant-based diet, right? Where I'm going 100% plant-based. Now, if you want to follow a whole food plant-based diet, you don't have to be like a vegan. You can still eat like meat or dairy or eggs, but you want to have whole plant food options. Something like a Mediterranean diet where I believe they still eat like chicken, fish, and eggs. But they don't eat like a lot of meat, but they eat like mostly plant foods. And in these blue zone areas, where they eat a diet like that, they're people that live the longest, like up to like a century and stuff like that, right? And that's kind of like my main goal, but it's like I just want to secure like my health as soon as I can, or like, just as much as I can. And yeah, because, it's cool to be healthy and it's cool to be able to live long because you get to enjoy more of life and what this beautiful world has to offer. Here, I'm doing neck curls. I have like an on and off relationship with like neck works. I really usually only work the front of my neck, so I'm doing, what's called neck curls here. I don't do neck extensions, which would work the back of my neck, because I feel like me doing like heavy pulling movements that work like my upper back, or like doing like face pulls and RDLs kind of like already get that right there. And then I believe like the front of the neck is like the biggest part of the neck. But yeah, I definitely do need to do them consistently, at least once to twice a week. So I don't have like a little pencil neck, and also kind of like for insurance. So that way, I'm not like basically, more prone to injury. So just for those purposes, kind of, again, treating neck training like an insurance policy, go ahead, do it, throw it in like at least once a week. It doesn't take that long. Throw it in like maybe your arm workout, or put it in like your upper body workout, or put it in whatever workout. I don't know. Do whatever, or don't do it at all. It doesn't really matter. I don't really care. But it has some of those benefits and whatnot. So yeah, when it comes to working out, again, when it comes to injuries, I have not really sustained any injuries. I feel like I'm training relatively well. I'm not doing anything really reckless. Of course, trying to keep my ego in check. Interestingly enough, I feel like my ego is more heightened when I'm like working out with like friends, or like when I'm like out at a gym somewhere, because I want to look cool. But when I'm in my own home, I tend to not like try and do anything crazy. I just try and work within my means per se, and of course push beyond to where I feel like it's necessary. Of course, when it's granted. Here I'm doing hammer curls. Hammer curls are mainly for like my forearms and with the inside of my bicep, that little muscle that, kind of pushes the bicep out. It might not be like a barbell curl where like, I feel like a barbell curl is like the compound exercise for biceps, but like, getting a bit more forearm work and stuff like that is not going to hurt me at all. It'd be weird if I had like big arms, like biceps and triceps, but like skinny like forearms. And I do have like a 6'1" wingspan. My height is 6 foot, but my arms reach out further than my height. So it is gonna take some time for me to kind of like fill my arms out. But I don't feel like they're small or anything like that. But of course, I definitely would want them to be bigger than they are now, and that's gonna take time. Of course, I'm only 3 years into this whole like building muscle thing, and yeah, I mean, I don't need to be impatient, stuff like that. A lot of the biggest guys, especially natural, it took them years upon years of just figuring stuff out and seeing what works for them and seeing what's comfortable for them and whatnot. And for me, although I might not be like advanced, I don't even think I'm like intermediate. For me, I feel like a lot of like these, it all kind of boils down to like these simple basic exercises that I've been like doing for, ever since I started. Of course, when you start, everything kind of looks attractive and you kind of get like a bit overwhelmed by so many exercise options. Like, oh, why would I do push-ups if I could do chest flies? Because chest flies are going to work my chest a lot better because of the isolation. And then And then you're losing out on a lot of more important things instead of doing, let's say, bench press or push-ups, right? If you were to stick to push-ups for a long time, and of course do them in a way that makes them enjoyable, you would still get a big chest compared to someone who, let's say, focus on chest flies, right? And why is that? Because for one, like, your chest is the main mover, should be the main mover if you're doing push-ups, right? And so it's going to grow either way. And then, of course, now you're getting your your stabilizers, which would be like in your shoulders and your arms, which would also help with like tendon development. And so you wouldn't have any weaknesses, right? And you're also getting your shoulders and you're also getting your triceps. And that's kind of the beauty of compound exercises, right? It's kind of ironic that I'm talking about compound exercises when this is a day where I do mostly isolations. But still, my point still stands as to like just doing more basic exercises, right? And then, of course, as a beginner, falling into like the newbie trap where you just do all these like quote unquote what people call optimal exercises, when just simple basic exercises are the ones that work a lot. And like, some people might get bored, but there are variations of simple exercises, right? Maybe if one day dips gets like, maybe strain, maybe you feel like a little strain when you do dips, then maybe you can just do, let's say, bench press, or you can just do deficit push-ups, right? I really enjoy deficit push-ups, especially if you're going to add weight to them. Pull-ups, maybe if pull-ups, maybe if you're tired of pull-ups, maybe you can do weighted pull-ups, maybe you can do lat pull-downs, right? Just whatever, whatever the case may be, because all these movements still work the same muscle groups, kind of in the same way, in the same ranges of motion. So you can have so many ways to, what do they call it? Like, different ways to skin the cat or something like that. I know that's not very vegan of me. Sorry, I take that back. There's many more ways to peel the banana. So yeah, let me stick to vegan analogies here. But yeah, just stick to these basic tried and true exercises, especially if you want to build muscle. And I feel like, when it comes to like, let's say, building muscle, building your physique, right? Some people might think like that's vain. People might think that's like, this like selfish thing or whatever the case may be. But I feel like, that's just the superficial way of looking at it. When it comes to like getting stronger and building more frame, on your body, whatever, those things add to your attractiveness, which adds to your appeal. And your appeal can get you, your outward appearance, what is always going to be your first, impression that you make to others around you, right? It tells everybody in the vicinity that can see you, at least, who you are, who you might be, or it can give you, give people a clue as to your character, right? And if you're someone who is taking care of themselves, like you're well kempt, shaved, clean, or, however you have your hair styled up, even what clothes you wear and how, you just like look like, are you slim? Are you fit? Are you buff? Are you fat? Are you all these, whatever you are you short? Are you tall? Even stuff like that. But let's disregard height. Stuff like, stuff that you can change, right? You can even change like your skin quality and stuff like that. Like, are you acne riddled? Do you have like blemishes? Is your skin breaking out everywhere? Whatever the case may be. These things all communicate something to everybody around you. So there's nothing wrong with taking care of your appearance, because it's like just for the sake of trying to avoid what you think is vanity, you're going to avoid improving yourself, right? All these things are ways to improve and to better yourself for the sake of opening up, better opportunities for you, right? Some people get approached just because like they are attractive, not like approached as in like, to get dated or whatever, but like, hey, wouldn't you want to try this modeling thing, or wouldn't you want to try this, like, whatever the case may be, just because of the way someone can look, right? That can communicate so much without any words, right? So it's definitely important. It's not a vain thing, especially if you're like a religious person. It's not vain to take care of yourself, because when you take care of yourself, especially for your health, you can be here for the ones that you love. You can serve the world with so much more good for a lot longer. And, you can just be stronger, not only for yourself, but for the people around you and for the people that you care about. So, like, even if you're not religious, it doesn't matter who you are. Like, if you're already watching this, you probably already get that message. You probably already understand that. And hopefully, maybe you're past that superficial phase where you're just lifting and working out for the sake of attracting a girl or whatever the case may be. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. See you guys in the next one. And peace out and enjoy the vegan arm day.